Excited.
Oh, awesome. No worries. Cool. Yeah, we've got some cool stuff, just some updates, some informational stuff today, just kind of keep everybody in the know with what's going on in EXP, what is coming down the pipe, as well as, what is new with Impact and our group and the resources that we have available. And that there's just some tips and some things that are, I've learned throughout the weeks. And we've also got some events and competitions and challenges and things going on. So that's exciting. So I'm going to go into each one of them just to kind of paint a picture of how to utilize those things and all grow from them. So I'm going to wait one more minute. Everybody just hang tight. This is the second huddle of the new year, February 26th. All grow from them. So I'm going to wait one more minute. Everybody just hang tight. Got some reverb. Yeah, everybody pause. Mute if you can. So we're going to do this every Friday live on Impact Worldwide page. You could also click on the Zoom link if you want to join live on the Zoom and collaborate a little bit and give some insight. That was great last week. We had some people give some great nuggets about some of the things we were talking about. So feel free to kind of chime in on any of the topics that come up. And I'm also taking each one of these huddles and putting them into a recording on YouTube. And we're going to create kind of a weekly playlist. So if you miss it, you can go in there. If you miss a couple weeks in a row or just want to listen to them in the car, I listen to a lot of playlists in the car on YouTube. You don't necessarily have to watch it, obviously, in the car, but it's great to just kind of listen to and go through each one of them. We knocked it down to 30 minutes this year because we're just kind of, everybody's really busy. We just want to fit a bunch of great nuggets into 30 minutes, rocket through it, and move on. So I'm going to get started. I've got a good crew going here. I'm going to start with some different housekeeping things and announcements and things to keep on your calendar. There's, of course, the weekly huddle. You guys are all here. What I'd like you to do is spread the word to your organization and the people around you to join the huddle, and just, being in the know, being plugged in gets everybody moving forward, keeps the energy up. It allows people to learn from each other as well as meet each other and meet new people. That's one of the great things about EXP is we're all under one roof and we're not in franchises. So therefore, we have people on this call from all over the country and all over the world, which is pretty cool. So, so join the huddle as well as all of these other things here. EXP Explains, Shelly and Meg do an awesome job. I talk about this every week. There are a number of EXP Explains done by people within our organization, but Shelly and Meg do a fantastic job. They do things a little bit different. They're very interactive. They take questions after. They kind of present in a different way than a lot of people usually do. So that's every other Tuesday of every month. So the first and third Tuesday of every month at 5 p.m. Eastern. Make sure you look for that, get that on your calendar, invite people to it. If you're going to invite people and they don't want to be seen on the call, that's fine too. They can basically log on, just put a different name or their first name, and don't show their camera and just listen in, and they could even ask questions at the end. So that's a great format. Brent Gove Unplugged is awesome. That's going to tie into agent attraction. We're also going to talk about the Sprint Challenge for EXP that's coming up on March 1st and May 1st. There's going to be 2 of them. And what Brent does in EXP's main auditorium on Mondays at 11:30 that's Pacific time. So make sure you, so it's at 12:30, 1:30, 2:30, 2:30 Eastern. Make sure you check that out. And that is, Brent is one of the best at growing an organization. He's got, I believe, over 10,000 people in his organization through his 7 levels now. Guy's just the master at it. And he goes into how to build that organization. What's the best ways to do that. And that's going to tie into that sprint challenge that I'm going to talk about in a little while. The other thing that we have going on, which is really exciting in our organization here at Impact, is the Impact Challenge. And that's a 70-day challenge that John Padone and Shelly put together. I know Shelly's been working really hard on that, and that's exciting. I'm going to get into that a little bit deeper in one of the slides going forward here. And then the last thing, you know, the model explained is about a 30 to 35 minute video that Brent Gove has done explaining the EXP model in great depth, as well as giving some insight on how he got there and kind of why he did it and why other people are doing it. It tells a couple of really great stories and quick stories in this video as well. It's a little deeper dive into explaining the model, and he does a great job at explaining it. So the model explained, this is a new one. So if you've seen this in the past, of course, with the growth of our company and the expansion of our company around the world, it has to be updated. And they just finished it. They did a professional studio. They did an awesome job at it. So it's really updated. Make sure you guys check that out. It's a great video to send someone after that initial conversation. If someone wants to learn more about the model, you say, here's the best thing to do is hand it off and have someone else that really can relate to that person and talk to them. But they should know about the model before going into that conversation. And we can talk more about that. We've done Rev Up Your Rev Share, which you see here at the top. Rev Up Your Rev Share is a 5-part sessions that Shelly and John Padone and myself did over the last 5 weeks. And we dive deep into many of the things that Brent's going to talk about. It's great to kind of pick up on different things that different people do so that you can relate and kind of plug in what works for you. There's going to be some great nuggets that Brent gives, and you'll be like, I'm going to do that. There's going to give some great nuggets, John gives a bunch of great nuggets. And if you guys can kind of pull from that and grow and create a great strategy and get that handoff to a third party, that's how you really, really succeed. So, make sure you dive into all of these great resources that are available. All right. So we talked about the Impact Challenge. Shelly and John spent a lot of time putting this together, and this is really exciting. The Impact Challenge is a 70-day challenge. It starts on Monday. The first thing you need to do is go into Facebook and look for the group Impact Challenge. If you just type that into Facebook, you'll find that in groups. Join the group. Once you join that group, this is a 70-day challenge about family, health, and business. And what that means is you come up with goals, and you come up with goals for each of those categories, the family, health, and business. And you challenge someone else, which is the best way to create their own goals. And that's an accountability partner. So you have that accountability partner and you guys work together to just make sure you're doing what you said you're going to do. So write those goals down. I wrote down some different ideas here for those goals that will kind of broaden your mind. And once you have those goals, you're going to put those into that group. You're going to write them down and show the group, this is what I'm going to do over those 70 days. I have an accountability partner. I'm challenging this person, and we're going to do this together. And then you're gonna post updates, maybe pictures of you out on date night with your significant other, you actually exercising or doing whatever you're gonna do in that challenge. And if you don't have an accountability partner, the group can be your accountability partner. So put your goals in there, post in there often. Maybe once a week is something that you're doing. And make sure everybody in the group supports everybody that posts. That's a very important thing. So some great or some simple ideas to kind of widen your ideas of what we're talking about. So if you're talking about family, maybe we're all really busy. So maybe you guys don't have family dinner enough. So maybe you're going to have family dinner, 3 nights a week or every night or whatever it is. You're going to take the family out to dinner. You're going to spend more time with them. You're going to go on date night with your significant other. You've been so busy you don't go to your kids' sports games. You're gonna make it a point. I'm gonna go to 2 out of the 3 games every week or whatever it is. For health, health, sometimes gets thrown in the back seat, and we find ourselves not eating as well, or we're a soda addict, and we were like, I gotta stop drinking a soda, so I'm gonna cut the soda out, or I'm gonna cut back. I drink 5, Pepsis a day. I'm going to cut it back to 1 a day to start. That's big for some people. And then, another one, of course, is exercise. If you don't exercise, maybe you start exercising. If you're you used to work out 5 days a week. I used to work out 5 days a week religiously. I don't anymore. That's terrible. That's one of my goals. I'm going to exercise 5 days a week. I'm going to, whatever it is, I'm going to do something. So once you have these goals, put them in that group, post them, make them live. If you write them down, and the whole group can hold you accountable, your accountability partner will hold you accountable. And then if you're a little bit, if you don't know some of the rules or something, you got a question, just post it in that group as well. And we'll all chime in and help you get some clarity, and we'll do it together. That's, there's great value in that. And that kind of rolls right into the EXP Sprint Challenge. And the Sprint Challenge has happened before. And basically, Dave Knorr, who is the president of growth in EXP, puts this on. It's pretty cool. And they've done it once before. It was really successful. And this helps grow the company, and it helps everybody grow their revenue share group and kind of get out of their comfort zone. So what this is, there's going to actually be 2 of them. There's going to be a 30-day challenge in March. There's also going to be a 30-day challenge in May. So there'll be 2 of them. I'm going to take April off. And how this works, there's 3 regions. So there's going to be a Western region, a Central region, Eastern region. And how it works is 50 agents from each challenge, from each group, will go to an event. They'll get invited. So the first 50 people per region who attract 3 agents to the company as an FLA, so they're our first level attracted agent, they're gonna, they don't have to be a qualifier quite yet. They just have to sign up and come to the company because you attracted them to the company. The first 50 people who have 3 of them will qualify to come to the sprint events. So they're going to have 2. So it'll be 50 in March from, say, the East, and 50 in the Central, and 50 in the West for the March event, the March Challenge. And then in May, there's going to be another 50 in the West, another 50 in the Central, another 50 in the East. So there's ultimately going to be 100 agents from each of those regions that will be invited to an event at a resort. So there's going to be 3 resort events, and on the west side, they're going to hold it at a swanky resort in Colorado. For the Central, it's going to be in Nashville, and for the East, this time it's going to be at Washington, D.C. These are very nice, fancy resorts. You were invited, and they're going to have mastermind sessions. You're going to rub elbows with the top people in the company, the top agent attractors. You're going to have masterminds. You're going to learn how they do it. You're going to collaborate. They're going to have celebratory events. They're going to, wine and dine you, have fun, but you're also going to learn a lot, and you'll be invited to these events. So that's the Sprint Challenge. There's some other, rules and little things that we can spend more time on, but what I'll do is I'll post the actual rules for the Sprint Challenge right in the Impact Worldwide group, and then I'm sure Shelly can put together a PDF or a doc that shows the Impact Challenge kind of breakdown and what should be done there as well. So 2 great events. these always kind of get everybody working together, get everybody excited, motivated, and it creates great growth and personally as well as professionally. So I thought, I always try and bring something in here kind of to teach people about the different tools that EXP offers and, how to utilize them, because as many resources as EXP has, sometimes the more you have, the harder it is to find them and know where they are. And as new people come in, they ask questions, and it's always great for us to know where to direct them and help them. So what I'm going to try and do here is go to a different screen share, and I'm going to go right into, no, wrong one, sorry, this one. That's not it either. Great. Bear with me. It's this one. Here we go. This should do it. All right. So I'm in Workplace. I say it every time. If you're not in Workplace, you need to get in there. You need to get in there every day. There's gold in here. There's over 1,600 different groups within Workplace that will help you do just about anything you want to learn about. There's videos, there's live streams, there's information, but right now I'm talking about your state group, and every state has a group. And whether you have you're looking for yourself, or you're looking for an agent that's in your organization that might be in another state, every state has a group. That person should join that group. The first thing you're going to notice at the top of each group is the managing brokers and the support staff that are available. So you see right up here in the banner. So everybody says, who's my BIC? Who's my broker of record? Who's my managing broker? Well, they're all right here. So go right into your state. You can either email them. Another great thing you could do is go right over here on the left side. You see chat. You can go right into chat, type in Shannon's name, and that message goes directly to her or whoever your managing broker is. You should also have Workplace Chat on your phone. If you have Workplace Chat on your phone, you sign right into that with your EXP username and password, and you can directly work with any of your managing brokers. You can directly chat with any of us. If you need help from us, we're always available. Anybody within your organization, and that is one of the most important resources you should be using. So this is one of the things up top. You should check into your state groups, for compliance and coffee schedule. Each state has some great state specific training that they offer. So go into those state groups and scroll down. You'll see some different things that they offer. The state meetings, when the state meetings are, you could listen on your app. There's an app for EXP as well that goes right into EXP World. Maybe I'll put that in next week's huddle to show you how to use that app and where to get it if you don't know how to do it. Brokers, compliance, best practices, state meeting, orientations. There's all sorts of great stuff in here. But one of the main things I wanted to show you, when you go into your states, hit this little file button right underneath your state here. If you hit the file button, you constantly are hearing people, hey, where do I get a working with real estate? Where do I get, a fair housing agreement, document? Where do I get this? Where do I get that? Where do I get addendums? If you don't know that, sky slope checklist, all these things are in here. These are all the common forms that people ask for. There's even like tax forms and things that people ask. A lot of them have an actual drive that you can actually connect to as well that have even more documents in it. So this is a massive resource. Go into files and look through your state and what's available. And if they have some folders, connect to those folders and look in those folders as well. There's an endless amount of resources in there. So I thought that would be helpful, because a lot of people ask us, like, where do I find this document? Where do I find that document? Instead of going to your broker, who's very, very busy, just to get a form, try going into those files, and 9 out of 10 times they're going to be there. All right. So I'm going to go back to this one. So I hope that was helpful. Make sure you dive into those state groups. And when anybody comes into your organization, that's one of the first things you should show them. Join that group, go to your state meetings, and check into that group and look at the news feed and look at the files. Just a quick reminder, we've got 2 impact groups. We've got Impact Worldwide, which we're on right now. Impact Worldwide is for EXP and Impact announcements, the weekly huddle, EXP Explained, training, coaching, rev up your rev share, any interviews or anything like that. So it's very much about the growth of you, the growth of the company, the growth of impact, and information and education. If you want to talk real estate, and you want to ask real estate related questions and real estate, topics like, Zillow and Zillow purchase showing time, there was a big talk about that. Do that all on Impact Real Estate Collaboration. Okay. So go join that group and do that there. We're trying to kind of filter things, because all of the, market, agent services. So if you build websites or you do closing coordinating, that's all in that Impact Collaboration. It's all real estate related talk and tasks and actions. You want to give recommendations or welcome an agent, that's all in this collaboration. Because if we start asking like, who's the best attorney or title company in this particular town, the people in California don't care. The people in the UK don't care. And it just gets like a bunch of, stuff in there. So try to be really deliberate about where you're posting what, and do your best. And ultimately, we might even just we might restrict the amount of posting in Impact Worldwide and just kind of push everybody to that collaboration. It's just gotten a little bit out of hand. So we're just trying to help everybody. Some other resources. GoGetters is another group you guys should be a part of. They do a lot of training there too. So with Impact Worldwide, with EXP World, and of course the EXP World calendar. For those of you who don't know, you could either get into that calendar through Enterprise. If you want to get there quickly, you can go to expcloud.com, and that will bring you right to the EXP World calendar as well. That is the biggest resource, and there are great things and amazing things that happen every week in EXP World. There's 75 to 100 hours of training in there, taught by icon agents, top people around the country, trainers, coaches, everything. But we also offer stuff in Impact, AJ's group, which we are all a part of. We're all, that's the beauty of this company. We're all part of everybody's in our organization. So organizations are inside of other organizations, and we all prosper from what's available. So these are some other things that AJ's got going on with some people in his organization that are contributing as well. So they've got some really cool stuff in there as well. So make sure you're in GoGetters as well. Before I go to this, when I talk about all these different things, the Impact Worldwide group and the different things like the Rev Up Your Rev Share training that we're doing, the Impact Challenge, the Huddle, all of these things, these are values to you guys. And these values are the things that you need to be excited about, not only utilize to grow your organization, to grow your business, to collaborate, but you also need to utilize these things as values to people that you're talking to and attracting to the company. And it's like, we've got all these amazing things with EXP and all these great attributes, but we've also got an awesome organization that offers all these amazing things that's helped me so much in my business, and it's helped me grow. And I've met so many great people. There's massive, massive value in that, because that's what people want to be a part of. They want to be a part of something that's their own. And that's why impact is very important. And that's why all our collaboration is very important. And they also want to meet people, but they also want to grow their business. And then ultimately, once they understand agent attraction and revenue share opportunities, that comes secondary, and they're going to want to grow that as well. So that stuff is in here as well. So that's the message you want to send to people on the outside in, is more about the collaboration, the training, the growth, the unity. That's the most important thing that helps people understand what we're about. And ultimately, they want to be a part of that. So just keep that in mind. So a number of us are on a call. It's called the influencers call. Shelly's on there. I'm on there. Bill's on there. Richard's on there. I mean, there's a good amount of people on that call that Dave Kennord does weekly. And I thought this was really interesting. We were talking about agent attraction, and they were talking about agents who have not attracted a lot of people, but want to attract a lot of people, and them not having the tools to do it necessarily, them not knowing what to do. So we're trying to think of ways, to help them. And as everybody was talking and we were all giving ideas, I thought, I took a little bit of snippets from everybody, and this really made, it was really interesting to me because it all tied together so well. So the first thing I wrote down was relationships, and relationships start everything. So if you have a relationship, that gives you access to that person, right? So without a relationship, it's very hard to have access. You can't just call someone up and be like, hey, I'm Craig, how are you? And they're like, who are you? I don't have access to that person. So a relationship allows me to call them, and it opens their gate so that you can have access. And then once you have access, you can have conversation. And when you have conversation, you can listen. And if you ask the right questions, they'll start to tell you their pain points and their problems. And then once you have their problems, you can deliver value. And if you deliver value, you can help solve those problems. And then that gives you the opportunity to bring in that third party and help you solve their problems with this model. So let's go back. So that I thought that was really interesting. So go back to relationships. Relationships can be through, realtor friends, past deals that you've had, events that you've been at together, or you can do your own events, so do events. Brent was talking about like events that they do to help people build their business. They don't talk about EXP. They just help about people, best listing presentation, how to get 10 more deals a year or whatever it is. So events are great. People that are at your past brokerage, they know who you are. You might not have been great friends with them, but like, hey, how's business going? This and that. But you're building a relationship with them. And then once you have access, that gives you the ability to have conversation and ask questions. And then listen. The most important thing is to make it about them. They'll tell you their pain points if you ask the right questions. So, if you think of the questions to ask them, and people love talking about themselves. If they're comfortable, they'll just spill everything, what bothers them, what they wish they could do. And then you want to, write down or think of those problems that they have. What are their hurdles? What are slowing their progress down? We had many of those. Shelly and I, we talk about it all the time. Our team, before we left, we had struggles when we were at our previous brokerage. We were stuck at our production was kind of bouncing like 2 million a year. We weren't really making great strides, and there were things that were holding us down. So once we were able to kind of recognize what those pain points were and what was holding us back, we were able to break out of that and break through that glass ceiling, so to speak. And then we were introduced to this company, and this company delivered a tremendous amount of value. The people that we met and were able to collaborate with delivered amazing value, and that helped us break through that ceiling. So I thought this was a really interesting kind of sequence of things that we were all talking about. So I wrote them down and, put it into a little graphic here. I hope that would help you guys. I thought that was really, really cool. Last thing, man, that's perfect timing. It's 10:29 on my clock. So I mentioned last week, we've got a new dashboard coming out. It's called my.exprealty.com. Here's a screenshot of it. I kind of stole it from the call. Can't really see it, but that's what it's going to look like. I did learn that it's not replacing Enterprise. I think they're going to update Enterprise at a certain point, but this is going to be accessible through Enterprise. And some of the things that it's going to do, I got a little more insight on that. So if you look at the top, it's got an organization chart. So it's going to basically list your organization from you down right now. So if you have one person under you and that person has 5 people under them and there's one person under them, you're going to see that org chart, which is pretty cool. You're also going to have all their contact information. So you're going to have their emails, ultimately their cell phones, their addresses, so that you could really become a group. You can become an organization. Your organization is going to get really big at some point, and if it hasn't already, and you're going to want to be able to stay in touch with all these people, and you're going to want to know where they are, what locations, what state, what country, who they are, what they're doing, how many level 1 agents that they have. And that allows you to kind of help them or anything that you need to do. All your stock's going to be in one place, because right now it's all over the place. Your international revenue share will be in there as well. So you have like the US, Canada, and then you'll have all the other countries if you have other countries in your organization. Some of you may not know, even along in due time, you're going to see one day like, oh, wow, Mexico just popped up in my dashboard and I got, $400 from Mexico, because it gets so big that you don't really know. And that's going to be really cool to see that. And that's going to, that'll be awesome. The participation level, I'm not exactly sure what that means yet, but it's going to show how interactive people are. Might have something to do with transactions or if they went to a certain event or whatever they're doing, but it's a participation level. Group stats, it's going to have all their stats, what production they're doing, how many transactions, how many agents they have, how many agents are joining, who's joining, who are they joining under, where are they from, all that information is going to be in there. And then there'll be multiple enhancements and phases of this dashboard. So one of the things that Dave said was, everybody just kind of give it time. It's new, it's extremely complicated. There's a lot of different things going on in this dashboard. Some things may not be 100% perfect in the beginning, but there's going to be several phases of this. One of the important things that he said in like phase 2 is you're going to see, that 30-word upline, downline, but you're going to see the people in your organization that are above you. And that's very important also, because if you don't already know that, which you should, those are the people that could really help you. And you want to lean on them. So this is going to be an amazing, addition to what we have available. And they hear us, which is the coolest thing. Whatever we want and we say is important as a group, as a company, they work on it and they get it done. And you think there is right now, it's between 600 and 700 people a week that are joining this company. 600 to 700 people a week join this company. So think of that growth and the staff and the onboarding. And then once these people get in the door, they got to learn where everything is, and how to do everything, and then hit the ground running and start doing deals. So that's where we all come in. And it's very, very important to hold everybody's hand and give them the tools and get them to the huddle and get them to EXP Explained with people, get them in touch with the people in your organization that are higher or have more knowledge, or it doesn't matter if they're below either. They just, wherever they are, they just have the knowledge that you need. You have people that have great access or they're great at something. They're great at KV Core. They're great at navigating EXP world. They love education. They love teaching. So learn who those people are around you and lean on them. Introduce yourself, and we'll just continue to grow. So that's all I've got today. Anybody have any quick questions before we end it?
Yeah, Greg, this is really cool. I actually, it's a kind of apropos, because I had my first conversation where gauged the openness of the person I was telling you about in India. last night, and he was open. And
Awesome.
he's incredibly well networked. Anyway, I'm going to be contacting you about meeting him in the coming week. But will this show us, this is really great stuff, will this show us, let's say he joins, or for anybody else organization, they have people who are in India or whatever other places, not US or Canada, which I guess are probably in there. Will this show exhaustively in detail the organization across all countries?
Yes, 100% it will. I don't know if that will be in the first phase, but
Understandable.
I mean, it comes out Monday. So if you go into your enterprise on Monday, you're going to see this. Or you can probably go direct to my.exprealty.com and look. And for those of us who have some people in other countries, we'll be able to tell you. So I'll tell you next week.
Great. Thanks.
But yeah, I mean, they're on it. I mean, this is going to be an amazing tool that they can continue to add to and add data to. So it's going to be really cool. It's going to break down, you know, your US revenue share, your international revenue share, what country it's in, what the conversion is in, you know, currency conversion. And then it will probably give you a total, obviously, for what that month is. So that's exciting stuff. This is one of many things that are in there.
Yeah, it's really convenient, especially if you're trying to gather data and it's a country like, whether it be India or another country that's got a 12-hour time difference, and you're thinking, okay, well, how do I coordinate working through getting all of this stuff together if you want to have a better understanding once it starts to grow, but it's right there, which is great.
Yeah, absolutely. And then, you know, once, you know, you have a connection in, say, a place like India, that's completely on the other side of the world, like John was saying, you'll be able to see that person's org chart. And, you know, you might know the one person that he attracted, but that person attracted 5 other people. And now you can kind of start to build a collaboration group with all of them and interact. And then everybody, you know, the more things that you know, people that you connect with, the more doors that open. You know, those people 3 people down might have a great connection that can help you with something else. And that's the amazing ability of working, you know, through the cloud basically, and working worldwide, which no other company has. I mean, it's just really cool.
Yep.
Anybody else? All right. Awesome stuff. Enjoyed everybody being on here. We'll see you next week at 10 a.m. And make sure you join that Impact Challenge group and look at the EXP Sprint. I'm going to post that information in the Impact Worldwide group as well. And spread the word for next week, 10 o'clock, as well as all the other things I posted. This will be live. It'll sit in as a post in Impact Worldwide right now. And I'm also going to take it and put it in a YouTube channel. Next week, I'll show you where that YouTube channel is. Take care.
Awesome stuff, Greg. Thanks. Bye.
Thanks, Greg.
See you, Kevin.